A list of Ghana's biggest and active markets cannot be complete without the mention of the Agbogbloshie market in Accra. The market has various sections engaged in the trading of different items such as onions, yam, tomatoes, plantain, among other food items. Part of the market is also inhabited by squatters and scrap dealers. Some of these dwellers, who often hail from the rural areas, precisely the northern part of the country, engage in the recovering, dismantling, weighing and reselling of parts and metals extracted from used and abandoned devices and from the heap of electronic waste. Thousands of them were also engaged in bulk-breaking activities in the enclave. The Agbogbloshie market has gained notoriety for the open burning of waste cables and auto parts for copper. Data available suggest that about 40 to 50 million tons of e-waste is generated yearly, with Ghana serving as the hub for electronic waste from across the globe. This activity has contributed to severe pollution at the business hub.
Right inside Accra, at the heart of the metropolis, the business center, lies Agbogbloshie community, if I may say so. And gradually it has obtained obtained the notoriety of being the hub of e-waste activities, to the detriment of the environment, to the detriment of the health of the very people who are engaged in there, and other land use adjoining partners or neighbors. So it has become quite an environmental issue.
In 2020, the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, cautioned these individuals to refrain from their activities or face arrest and prosecution. But the situation was no different a year after. The scrap dealers carried out the burning of electronic waste in the midst of the onion traders at the Agbogbloshie market, not minding the health implications on them. These structures you see behind me are the only ones that were exempted from the government's demolition exercise after the relocation of the onion traders from the Agbogbloshie market. Now, part of these structures is a clinic that was built purposely to serve the onion traders at the time. The in charge of the facility tells me off record that most of the cases that were reported at the health facility were upper respiratory diseases and cuts. This, she says, was due to the activities of the scrap dealers at the time, which got the area very much polluted. Until plans by the government to relocate the onion market, which in effect saw the relocation of the scrap dealers, gutters here were often choked with filth. The streets were also congested, restricting mobility. On rainy days, the land inhabited by these traders got muddy and made the sale of onions and other food items unwholesome. The Odo River, which flows through the area, was also stuffed with filth. Dust and other toxic substances also affected the inhabitants. A dredging firm, Dredge Masters, contracted by the government to desilt the river body, said the situation impeded its work.
Especially the Agbogbloshie, where the demolition is ongoing. You see that place, they are scrap people. They are the e-waste and the onion sellers. You can go there and you see 2 tons of scrap waste in the water body. You can even be dredging and they will be dumping. You will be removing the material from the drain, and they also, whilst removing, behind you, you see them burning these scraps, you see them burning lorry tires, you see them burning electrical cables, you see. And after, they dump all the waste back into the already dredged lagoon. At times, you'll be dredging and you'll find human beings in there. You find fridge bodies, you find lorry tires, you find all manner of waste in, especially that stretch of the Odo.
Government, in collaboration with the German organization GES, constructed a recycling facility in the enclave to ensure sustainable handling of e-wastes. Being one of the only 2 structures Exempted from the demolition of the Anion Market, the Minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation said the resolve to manage e-waste in the country remains intact, as the scrap dealers could offer their waste to the facility irrespective of their location.
They are going to introduce technology which will be able to allow us to salvage those things without necessarily burning them. Or let's put it this way, even if they are incinerated, the fumes will not be allowed to escape into the atmosphere. You go to the scrap yard in Agbogbloshie, you find all sorts of waste there. Caterpillar parts, lorry parts, aluminium, recyclable materials, and so on and so forth. So those are the ones that were demolished so that they could be relocated. But the offices for the e-waste program have been left intact. And in any case, those things were also meant to be an interim arrangement. You know, we have a holding facility in GAEC, Ghana Atomic Energy Commission. So maybe the time has come for us to accelerate that program, and then the program their gaps.
But what was the government's motive for relocating the Anion Market that automatically affected the scrap dealers?
This exercise has been long overdue. If I'm not exaggerating, we are looking at about 16 years and over. And today, you have seen for yourself that can we have this in a city? It's a no-no.
The move was initially greeted with serious agitations from various Anion traders' unions. But the spokesperson for the traders say they have embraced the new market at Agbogbloshie in the Gan West municipality.
On the 20th of May, when we were here with the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Honorable, may God really bless him. And then we thought maybe the place is not inconvenient. That's what some of us think. But it's not like that. Only the challenge that we are facing, as we said earlier on, the place is a little bit small for us. We still need more. We still need more space. That's what we need from them. But so far, so good. There's a fire right here behind us, and then there is a police station and everything. We have everything here. So as I said, everything is okay now.
The Agbogbloshie Anion Market has currently been cleared of all structures. During a visit by Citi News, some scrap dealers were seen scavenging through the rooms. The enclave still appeared polluted, with smoke emanating from a nearby dump site. So how do we ensure that the new place designated for the scrap dealers and Anion traders doesn't end up becoming like another Agbogbloshie market?
They are being relocated, so it also not should be that we are exporting the illegality or the illegal operations there. Otherwise, we will continue dislocating and doing that. So EPA is in tandem with the regional administration to ensure that all those who will be allotted those places, e-waste activities will be excluded. They are going to be directed to existing facilities that we have licensed, and we know that they are working within the confines of the law, and we can properly regulate them.
Behusa baby ehihye jene nankasa no. Ewura no gu ho a omo nsesa. Eno de MCMC o sa wotume ema environmental health officer no ono mbedi nkitaso. Plastic bottles so. Skips esi ha. Skips si ha o. Ah wo se etume de tum. Ni nyina egu fom. Eno so de esa amoya na enkoye PRO. Etimesro bone dawuro. Obia obehu so de ade ato fom no. Ma onyi. No fa nkoto skip no. Wo bisa dustbins. De DCC fa ye wi afa. Obetumi ya guarantee se de beba ha no. Obehwe so a me ne me pen aka chief director e behwe de betumi aye wo ho.
But what significant benefits would be derived from the relocation of the Anion Market?
Now that we've been able to clear the place, one, crime rates and criminal activities that are reported to be going on there will very much subside. It's completely eradicated. The the environmental filth, water waste, solid waste disposal indiscriminately here and there is going to also stop. Then the burning of these materials, the e-waste materials, alongside the used ties is also going to subside. According to EPA, our data, the most polluted area in terms of air quality is that enclave, the entirety, including where we are, because it falls within the radius. So we're going to see an improved air quality situation in the metropolis, particularly the catchment area that we find ourselves in.
You have to get a minimum of 20-meter radius from the banks of the water body as your buffer zone. The buffer serves as, how do we call it, an area for equipment to move, area for equipment to be there to dredge, and also an area to stockpile material. In this case, at that site, now we have a vast land over there to do stockpiling. One, the human-machine interaction or interface over there will go off. Now you wouldn't work, when working, you will not be thinking of somebody trying to pick, how do you call it, a scrap or a metal from the material that you are dredging.
After days of rigorous demolition and cleanup of the Agbogbloshie Onion Market, after the relocation of the onion traders to Ajen Kotoku in the West Municipality, this is how the place looks like. You can see everything has been cleared to ground zero as indicated by the Greater Accra Regional Minister Henry Quartey. But you can see behind me there are a few of the scrap dealers who are trying to salvage from the ruins after they were also affected in this particular exercise. But with the relocation of the onion market, are we going to see a change in the environmental pollution henceforth? Reporting from the Agbogbloshie Onion Market in Accra, my name is Ni Ayukwe Okain for Citi News.